A presentation about volcanoes by Brooke Eknoyan, Lauren Eknoyan, and Joe Calerico. Volcanoes are like sleeping giants. After years or centuries of rest, they can awake. Some eruptions blow off tops of mountains, flatten forests, and dam up ramps. Some eruptions have killed tens of thousands of people. A few have buried cities, while others have buried mountains. Some big eruptions have even changed the world's weather for years. One of the most destructive volcanoes was Mount Tambora. It happened on April 10th and lasted until April 15th of 1816 and killed more than 90,000 people. As a result of this eruption, the once tall volcano that stood at 13,000 feet was reduced to 9,000 feet. Also, due to the destructive eruption, 1816 became known as the year without summer because the ash in the atmosphere reduced the temperature. This was felt worldwide, not just in Indonesia. Interestingly, it is thought that an additional 100,000 people may have died from crop failures as far as Europe and America due to reduction in temperatures as a direct result of the eruption. The second most devastating volcano was Mount Pelee. It occurred on April 25th and lasted until May 8th of 1902 and killed more than 40,000 people. At the time of the eruption, the volcano was thought to be dormant, but a series of eruptions began in April 25th, 1902, resulting in the final eruption on May 8th, 1902. This final eruption was so destructive that it destroyed the city of St. Pierre. There was only 2 survivors. One devastating volcano eruption that occurred in the U.S. was Mount St. Helens. 57 people were killed, 400 meters lost from the height of the mountain, and the total damage was $1 billion. Mount St. Helens erupted at 8:32 a.m. on May 18, 1980. The blast rattled windows throughout the area. A black cloud of ash rose a great distance into the air and darkened the sky. A hot wind rushed from the volcano and flattened entire forests. The plastic parts of nearby cars melted in the heat. Volcanoes occur because the outer layer of the earth is in constant motion. The earth's outer layer is divided into plates like a jigsaw puzzle. These plates average about 50 miles in thickness. They move like rafts. As the plates move, they collide or pull apart. When plates collide, one plate scrapes under the other plate in an area called the subduction zone. Torn rocks from both plates melt and create new magma for volcanoes. The theory that explains this process is called plate tectonics. Volcanoes are formed when magma from within the Earth's upper mantle works its way to the surface. At the surface, it erupts to form lava flows and ash deposits. Over time, as the volcano continues to erupt, it will get bigger and bigger. There are 6 main parts of a volcano: the magma chamber, crater, main vent, secondary vents, ashes, clouds, and cinders, layers of ash and lava. There are also 3 main types of volcanoes, which are composite volcano, cinder cone volcano, and shield volcanoes. The shield volcano is a gently sloping volcano that spews out mainly basaltic lava that flows in long-lasting but gentle eruptions. Shield volcanoes are usually big, but explosions are very minimal. An example is Mount Kilauea in Hawaii, USA. A composite or stratovolcano is a steeped cone volcano that explosively spews gases, pumice, ash, and small amounts of stiff silica lava. This type of volcano can have eruptions accompanied by lahars are deadly mud flows. Most volcanoes on Earth are this type of volcano. Stratovolcanoes kill more people than any other type of volcanoes. This is because of their abundance on Earth and their powerful mud flows. An example of this type of volcano is Mount St. Helens in Washington, USA. A lava dome is a bulbous or rounded volcano that forms when very viscous lava barely flows. An example is Mount Pelée in Martinique. A cinder cone volcano is a cone-shaped volcano whose steep sides are formed by loose, fragmented cinders that fall to earth close to the vent. The lava flows through a single vent that is usually only up to about 1,000 feet tall. There is usually a bow-shaped crater at the top. As the gas-filled lava erupts into the air, the lava fragments into pieces and forms cinders. A rhyolite caldera complex volcano are the most explosive volcanoes. An example of a rhyolite caldera complex volcano is pictured below. Volcanoes can be looked at as destructive or productive. When volcanoes erupt, they make headlines for their destructiveness, but little is talked about how many positive things come from a volcano erupting. Inside the earth, magma carries many valuable elements such as gold, silver, sulfur, zinc, and copper. As magma cools, some of these elements form minerals in cracks and spaces in the surrounding rocks where miners discover them. Volcanoes give us mountains to ski on, lakes to swim in, and hot springs to soak in also. Volcanic landscapes provide unique homes for animals and plants. In winter, bison gather around the hot springs in Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming to escape the cold and deep snows. A magma chamber beneath the Yellowstone heats is hot springs and geysers. In the ground in Nebraska, paleontologists have found fossils of rhinoceroses, three-toed horses, camels, and other animals. 10 million years ago, ash from volcanic eruptions suffocated and buried these animals. It is one of the largest fossil records we have. Scientists cannot accurately predict volcanic eruptions. People in some areas of the world must live with occasional volcanic eruptions. Information about volcanic past eruptions help scientists predict how the volcano may behave in the future.
That's fine.
Ash from the active volcanoes help to renew the soil so farmers can keep planting on it. Volcanic eruptions are powerful forces that can destroy a great deal of land and life. It often takes decades before the land recovers from a volcanic eruption, but eruptions also help form new land and rich soil. Volcanic eruptions are important parts of nature.